Welcome back, my people. We are back in our second episode of the day, whereby we are discussing a subtopic in muscle X or muscle pull, and this is myositis. We were looking at the types of myositis. We have discussed the first one, which is dermatomyositis, and we are now going to the second type of myositis, which is inclusion body myositis. Before we continue, I always appreciate you guys for the good work you are doing, and I do appreciate each and every one of you who is supporting this channel and making it a success, be it by subscribing, be it by liking, be it by commenting. You are doing a fantastic job, and may God bless you. Continue keeping the support on and make this channel grow to greater heights. So let's check what is inclusion body myositis. This is the only type of myositis which occur more in men than women. Previously, we said myositis is most commonly in women, and we will know the reason as we continue our discussion. So, inclusion body myositis is the only type of myositis that occur more in men than women. Most people who develop this condition are over 50 years. Most people who are prone or who develop this condition are over 50 years. It begins with muscle weakness in the wrists and fingers and in thigh muscles. It begins with muscle weakness in the wrists and fingers and in the thigh muscles. Muscle weakness is prominent in small muscles and asymmetrical with one side of the body. Muscle weakness is prominent in smaller muscles and is asymmetrical with one side of the body. So, it means that it concentrates in one side of the body. So, muscle weakness is prominent in smaller muscles and asymmetrical with one side of the body affected more than the other, and it's believed to be genetic. So, it affects one side more than the other, and it's believed to be genetic. That means you can inherit it from your parents. It can pass from generation to generation. So, what are the symptoms of inclusion body myositis? Number one, difficulty in walking. Obviously, if the muscles are weak, you will have difficulties in walking. Frequent falls. Obvious muscles, if the muscles are weak, you will lose balance and you will have frequent falls. Number three, tripping and loss of balance. Tripping and loss of balance. Number four, trouble rising from a seated position. Trouble rising from a sitting position. Number five, weakened hand grip and diminished hand and finger dexterity. Weakened hand grip and diminished hand and finger dexterity. This means you can't hold something very firm. Most of you maybe have ever seen somebody, a glass falling from somebody's hand. That is a good example of this kind of myositis, because the muscles are weak to an extent that the hand can't hold the glass for long. So it falls off. And most times when it falls off, they don't realize whether the glass has fallen, because the muscles are weak and have lost their dexterity. Number six, difficulty in swallowing. Number seven, muscle weakness. Muscle weakness. Next, muscle pain. Number 9, diminished deep tendon reflexes. Diminished deep tendon reflexes. I hope we are together and we are getting to understand this myositis, because it affects a large number of the community and they don't realize whether they have myositis. As we said before, when we were starting this subtopic, it's always difficult to diagnose and to treat. It involves trial and error method. So it's quite strenuous and a difficult disease to handle. Let's go to the third type of myositis, which is juvenile myositis. And as the name suggests, juvenile simply refers to children. So this means it affects young children than the elderly. So juvenile myositis, it occurs in children under 18 years. Juvenile myositis occurs in children under 18 years. Girls are twice likely to develop juvenile myositis than boys. As we said when we started this topic, women are more prone to myositis than men. So in juvenile myositis, girls are more prone to juvenile myositis than boys. So, similar to other forms of myositis, it's characterized by muscle weakness and skin rashes. Similar to other types of myositis, it's characterized by muscle weakness and skin rashes. What are the symptoms of juvenile myositis? Symptoms of juvenile myositis. Number 1, visible radiant purple rash over eyelids. Visible purple rash over eyelids, all joints, sometimes in the shape of heliotrope flower. Visible radiant purple rash over the eyelids or joints, sometimes in the shape of heliotrope flower. Number 2, fatigue. Number 3, moodiness or irritability. Number 4, stomach aches. Number 5, motor function difficulties. Motor function difficulties such as trouble climbing stairs, standing from a seated position and getting dressed. Motor function difficulties such as trouble in climbing stairs, standing from a seated position and getting dressed. Number 6, difficulty reaching overhead. Difficulty reaching your overhead, for example, when combing the hair. Number 7, trouble in lifting the head. Trouble lifting the head. Number 8, swelling or redness of skin around fingernails. Swelling or redness of skin around fingernails. Number 9, trouble in swallowing. Trouble in swallowing. Number 10, hardened lumps and calcium under the skin. Hardened lumps and calcium under the skin. Number 11, muscle weakness. Muscle weakness. Obviously, it affects the muscles, so they must be weak. Number 12, muscle joint pain. Muscle joint pain. Number 13, hoarseness of voice. Hoarseness of voice. Number 14, Gottron's purpose. Gottron's pustules. These are bumps found over knuckles, elbows, and knees. Knuckles, elbows, and knees. Gottron's pustules, which are bumps found over knuckles, elbows, and knees. And the final symptoms is fever. This marks the end of our second video today, and in our next video tomorrow we'll be talking about poliomyositis. Thank you for your time. Thank you for lending me your ear, and I hope each and every one of us is benefiting from this. Let's continue subscribing, liking, and sharing, and support this channel as one big family, and I'm sure it's going to grow to greater heights. Have a blessed evening.